Hello everybody, this is Cronus006 and I am back with more of this really fucked up game. Oh, I couldn't avoid it forever. It's time to get back to it. Harvester. Cop ignores you. Too busy writing a bug report. So funny. Stars and stripes forever. Hell yeah. USA. USA. We have a lot to be proud of for making this game. Pot hisses at you from its perch. A map of harvest. Ah, that could be useful, except I think I already have one, so maybe not. I'm thinking too much. I don't want to talk to these people. I really don't. It's labeled Unsolved Arson, and it's full. It's labeled Unsolved Arson, and it's full. That door is
That's
locked.
the evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
The door is locked. Alright, Sheriff. Let's talk.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here is Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then, we haven't met before?
Of course we have, but I heard about your alleged amnesia and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity plea. Keep your nose clean, or you'll wind up in jail, and that's no place to hold a wedding.
Is jail really all that worse than a funeral home?
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth! Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah, so
Everyone
everybody
says
keeps
that.
telling me.
Boy, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge. Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest. I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications. And there's always a long line, never enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
So far, I'm not learning anything I haven't already heard, guys.
I don't mind telling you, I'd never get anything done if not for the lodge's efforts. To join the Order of the Harvest Moon is the highest dream of everyone in Harvest.
I have a feeling that this Order of the Harvest Moon has nothing to do with the video game of the same title.
Like I said, unless you get an application on the first day of the month, you're generally out of luck. Stop by the post office and talk to Postmaster Boyle. You never know. He might have a spare application laying around.
We didn't last time.
Amnesia or
Disappointment.
there's
Whenever I have a dialogue tree that I've already listened to, I'm going to skip through it just because I don't want to waste your guys' time.
crime-wise, nothing much has happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so we get the odd transient dropping dead, but other than that, it gets pretty slow around here. We get a lot of bums, drifters passing through Harvest. Those people are never very healthy to start with. I figure they come to our fair town, look around and decide it's a nice place to die.
You mean they drop dead here on a regular basis?
Like flies. I'd slap 'em all in jail if I could, but there's never enough room. Besides, they're pretty good about not sticking around long. Sure, it's a burden on Mr. Moynihan, though. having to bury them all. I only hope the PTA Lodge bake sale will help out along those lines.
See, I have a feeling that this bake sale has to do with them eating these people. I'm just gonna say it. It just seems to me like they're hinting that they're killing these people, they're eating them. That's what I'm getting from this. I don't know if I want to be right or don't know if I want to be wrong on that, so that's my theory and I'm sticking with it for now.
Oh, I forgot. You've got amnesia. Mr. Moynihan operates both the Wayward Hotel and the mortuary. Kind of a double burden for the poor man. Transients always wandering in and looking for a place to crash, then croaking.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
You mean a crime? Oh, no. Moynihan's charity only extends so far. He won't check them in, but he'll sure check them out quick enough. He figures if they can't pay for the room, to hell with them. But if they can't pay for the burial, it's hell for us, what with the smell and all. I guess you can't say too much against Moynihan, what with him letting you hold the wedding in his mortuary chapel and all.
You say so.
Crime-wise, sure, you remember. The Sentinel building burned down about 6 months ago.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm telling you, Sheriff. I don't remember anything. Why won't you believe I have amnesia?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
But we found the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
Loomis, that's classified. Darn it.
How many times you gonna have to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder? Sorry, boss.
You've got the gas can in the evidence room? Did you dust it for prints?
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, who can make out all those curvy lines anyhow? No, it's sitting in there gathering dust, clean as the day we found it. Just in case I ever need a spare gas can. That case is closed, Steve.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out. Though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress.
Ew!
Isn't that right, Loomis?
Oh, now, Sheriff, what you gotta go and say that for?
Loomis has more than his share of problems. I wouldn't invite him to the wedding. Or if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
Oh, I wouldn't do nothing, Dwayne. But I sure would like a little garter that's been around Stephanie's thigh. Oh, well, that'd be right special.
This game keeps giving me horrible images.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Anything I can help you with?
I hope not.
Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know?
I'm not sure if there's ever been something that I would rather not click so much. Oh, why not?
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or
Tree of life?
jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books. If you can get any, and see clear to part with them. Bring 'em round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling he would want the nudie mag, so...
Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one.
Ooh la la! Ooh la la!
Mrs. Phelps down at the general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies, but she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dadgum if that don't burn my britches. If I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis, and I get the broom. Enough to break a man's heart, her burning my French postcards, and me unable to replace 'em. A man's got needs, don't you know? Any time, kiddo. Kiddo.
No, sorry.
Oh, heck. Why should...
Okay, so he's not going to talk to me anymore.
Any time.
Big shame, that. It's labeled Unsolved Murders, and it's full. I'm not surprised. Pot hisses at you. Whoop, I keep forgetting that that punches. A lot of times the right click is your inventory. Guess not in this game. So we still only really have the pen, the newspaper, and the girly mag. And regardless, I don't think there's anything else here I need. Nothing outside. No. Alright, I'm curious to check out that scene of the fire. So let's do that. Yeah, this is definitely the scene of a fire. It's my favorite creepy music. Shovel is sticking out of the building's ashes. Ooh, let's take that shovel. Oh, I did not expect there to be anything there. It scared me. It looked like bones. Buried in the ash debris, you spot a few hidden remnants. Heh, the bake sale, right? It's a flyer for the Harvest Bake Sale. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Ooh, hello. A postal worker's button. And it looks like it was ripped from the cloth. Huh. I wonder if that will get me an application. At least the plumbing held up. Ah, quit punching. And I still have the shovel.
Well, that didn't work.
Okay, so that's good. This was definitely a worthwhile trip. Alright, now let's go... God, there's even more stuff down here. A TV station, the school, and the meat plant. Boy. Let's try the diner. Even from the ground, you can hear the sonorous buzz of the neon. Sonorous? Sonorous? A 1955 Frag 100 with a real leather seat. I don't know cars, I don't know bikes. That means nothing to me. Oh boy. Children. That's about all we need in this game, right? Oh, okay, so here's Sheriff Dwayne. So I ought to go back and give What's-His-Face the girly mag. A smoke alarm.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cute kid. Finally someone in this town who's cute and nice and good and innocent and not evil. A cake cover.
Hello there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's Diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's Diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now, don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good, since it's the only place to eat in Harvest.
I already talked enough with you.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing, sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order? Sure. And my name's Edna Fitzpatrick. I'm not the one with amnesia.
Then you believe me.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Stop
I
saying
guess I've
that!
changed. I'm not kidding.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia
Ugh,
won't
she
help
looks mad all of a
anything.
sudden.
If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old. There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him. You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have. Mr. Johnson has a liking for me.
Yes, he does.
I call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon. The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve, and soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body son's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late.
That was supposed to be reversed, by the way.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
Okay, I think she was just hypnotized or something right there. That was clearly not her speaking.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a lot else I can do in here. I noticed I can look at the smoke alarm. A smoke alarm. That might be useful to keep in mind for later. Can't go in the bathroom. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do here. I'm gonna run back to the police station. Maybe now I can give, what's his face? The porn mag. Oh boy. I'm gonna save, because, like I said, I don't trust this game at all. Alright, buddy. Here you go.
Oh, by George. Oh, by Jiminy. Oh, this here's the real thing. Oh, can I have it? Oh, oh, think it over. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Anytime.
so I want to get in that room. So I hope it at least lets me trade. Although maybe what'll happen is he'll run in here, and I have to... Ah, that's not what I meant to do. Keep accidentally punching, because right-click usually accesses the inventory. Alright, let's give this to him and see what happens.
Oh,
Sure.
oh, oh, thank you, Steve. Excuse me, kiddo. I gotta go check the jail for clean towels.
I'm sure you do. You know what? For a guy his age, I'm kind of impressed. So, good on you, sir. You do what you're gonna do, alright? This door is unlocked. Aha! Yes, the key to the evidence room. Oh, you haven't lost it, Kronos. A barely legible note. Sheriff Dwayne's checkbook. He's gonna notice that missing, isn't he? Well, I better move here quickly before what's-his-face finishes. Ugh. So let's do that, shall we?